How is everybody doing today? By far, some of the most exciting news has dropped, and especially with Penacony coming, of course, we need to talk about one specific character that everybody wants, and that is Black Swan. Black Swan is going to be a brand new dot unit for the Nihility path and also Win, which is very exciting that we're finally getting a 5-star dot unit, something we've been asking for a long time, to be buffing out one of our favorite characters. Now we'll be switching between, back and forth. I'm sorry if it gets annoying, but we are going to be switching from the game and also to whatever I need to look at so that I can explain it to easier. But right now, Kafka is gonna get a big buff. For anybody that has Kafka already, or if you already summoned for Kafka, that's a very big deal. You basically are getting some of the best support for Kafka, and this team is just gonna flourish very, very soon. And this is a really good thing. This is a really fun thing. I'm very excited for this team to get what they want. It's the same way that Topaz and Numby got Dr. Ratio. We're now getting the new 5-star for the dot team, which this team is just gonna overall soar into unimaginable heights. They're going to be absolutely insane, especially with the addition of someone like Ruan Mei. Yeah, this team is going to be very, very broken. But looking at Black Swan, what does she do and how is she different from every other character? Well, as our first 5-star dot character, which overall gives her a very high in the priority list, because this is a very good thing for Kafka, especially for those that like the dot playstyle. She's not going to be a regular dot unit because she's not going to be inflicting any of the original 4, if I'm not wrong, which are Bleed, Wind Shear, Burn, and Shock. She's actually going to be inflicting her own dot, which is going to be called Arcana, and I think that's a very unique and specific way that they're doing this. So this is very good. I really like the way that they're trying to change up the way certain things work, and I do see that she's also going to probably still proc Wind Shear, because if she were to break as a wind unit, what does it make? Wind Shear. So she can have the choice of being able to have Wind Shear and Arcana, and then same way with Kafka, how she can do Shock and Erode with her Light Cone. It's a lot of dots going around. And the fact that this is not only just a regular dot, Arcana can actually stack and it gets stronger over time. So being able to stack this with the skill and with the basic attack shown from the stream, you are going to be getting some more side effects and do more damage with Black Swan, which is a very strong thing to have. She's going to be a very amazing character, especially for these longer fights. And I'm pretty sure she's going to be able to have her own version of burst DPS for the units that we usually use, where they're all just 0 cycling, 1 cycling. I think it's still possible with this character. I just think you just get a very big buff for when basically the turn lasts longer, the battle lasts longer. But looking at every banner at the current moment, where does Black Swan, I guess you could say, rank? Because we have a lot of characters coming out, and currently right now in the game we have a set of banners that don't really help out a lot of people that have been waiting for Black Swan and Sparkle to get there, I guess you could say, time to show the information. And we also have Dream Market, but right now we have Dr. Ratio. Not really the most important banner at the current moment. He was given out for free, so thank you, Honkai Star Rail. And of course, the 4-star at the current moment aren't the best. The only one I could say 100% is pretty good is Su Shang, but even then, not worth summoning on the banner. The problem lies is with Kafka. The fact that Kafka is a very important unit and a very strong unit and the leader of the dot team, someone you 100% want to have with Black Swan. She is the absolute mountaintop. She is the bun to the burger. She is everything. She is literally what you need for a dot team. If you are not rocking Kafka with the dot team is losing a lot of their front loaded damage. To be able to do the max amount of damage you would want to do with this team, you would have to wait till the enemy gets their turn, and when they do get their turn, you don't even know if it's going to be able to kill them or not. There's a lot of cons you get with not having Kafka on your account if you are heading towards that dot playstyle. And if you're looking for someone like Black Swan, this character is very important. So you had to already got Kafka or summon for Kafka and try to your best to grind as many jades as you can, grind as many jades as soon as Penacony comes. We also are getting 2 multis for free, so that's very good as well to help out in your endeavors in trying to get Black Swan. But Kafka is by far a character you might want to have for sure for Black Swan, because it's just going to be, it's what you need. This is a character that's going to be helping the dot team make do with what they need to have in order to get the damage to coincide with a lot of the other teams that are in the meta, I guess you could say, with Dan Heng, with Jing Liu, all these other characters. You want to make sure that you have Kafka. So the fact that Kafka and Black Swan are so close together, that makes a problem for free to play, and it does suck because there's no space for you to save. You either get Kafka or you don't, and now you're rocking a Black Swan that isn't doing their highest potential of damage because you can't re-trigger that dot over and over and over. And especially with how speedy Kafkas are and how speedy I'm assuming we're going to be making Black Swan as a dot unit as well, it's going to be very hard to see that we're not going to get any of that damage from that speed, because we have to wait until the enemy gets their turn, and that sucks a lot. So right now, currently, Black Swan is very hard for people who don't already have Kafka. If you don't have Kafka, you might want to go ahead and get her, especially if you are looking towards dot. She will always be used for this, and she has a lot of investment potential in her So this is a very well worth investment if you are into the dot playstyle, because she is the leader of that team. While we have the character, of course, of Black Swan, who is a dot character, she's by far going to want that 100%. Another thing is that I don't think we know the 4-stars at the current moment. They only showed us the actual character, so that's kind of weird, unless I have to go look inside the, what is it called? Hold up, let me check. Oh wow, they do show the 4-stars. Okay, so we do have the 4-stars here, which, wow, okay. These actually don't look too bad in my honest opinion. Where did they go? I just had them dead in front of me. That sucks. Where did it go? Okay, can I zoom in, please? They're down here and it won't let me go down. But if I can actually just say it right now, the 4-stars for Black Swan are going to be Misha, which is pretty cool that he's going to be on Black Swan's banner, which is really nice. Misha, a new 4-star who's going to be a sub DPS with having a skill point type of counter, and the more skill points you use on the team, the more damage he does. Really cool that we're getting him as a free unit, or not a free unit, a 4-star unit on the banner. And then we have Jing Yuan, who's an overall amazing support. And then we have Gwenifin, which is a great thing that they weirdly didn't put a dot unit on Kafka's banner at all. So it's a really nice thing that if you're looking for a dot unit, Black Swan and Gwenifin are going to be on the same banner with Jing Yuan, someone who also works with Kafka, and I would assume would work with Black Swan if we're going to be using Jing Yuan's ultimate on her as well. We'll have to wait and see how we test her out and see how she works with Kafka. But seeing that Gwenifin, which is a really good unit for dot, we have Jing Yuan, who's an amazing support, universal support, and Misha on the same banner. That is a very strong thing, and I'm glad that this banner has a lot of value. Now we got to look at the other characters, and I also forgot, we got to talk about the reruns as well, because there are a bunch of good reruns coming out and a lot of worthwhile ones. So yes, Black Swan is in a very, very like competitive state with a lot of the banners that are coming out, which right now we have Don Hung, who of course is one of the better DPSs in the game. Of course, take some time to invest the team into getting him to work, because he is very skill point heavy. And if you're going for Don Hung, that's going to be his own other video, because we need to talk about Don Hung with Sparkle. There's a lot of stuff we got to talk about in regards to his rerun. Is he still worth it? We will be talking about that later in another video, so make sure to be sub for that. But looking at Don Hung, he's overall just a DPS. You can pop him into a regular team, add some supports, add your sustain, boom, he's ready. He doesn't need another character to work, specifically because we've been working without Sparkle for the longest time. And then we also have Sparkle, who is going to be a harmony unit, which is going to overcap your skill points and regenerate skill points on ultimate, and also give you some buffs as well and advance forward. She's just an amazing harmony support already. And then Jing Yuan, and then now we have this 4-star banner with Sampo, QQ, Hanya. Not the very best banner in terms of the 4-stars. QQ is very strong, so our lines are really good. Hanya can be very nice as well. Sampo isn't really needed, especially when this set of banners don't coincide with a dot banner. So a little bit of a weird lineup, not gonna lie, but for the most part, the 5-stars are what we're looking at. And seeing that we have Sparkle, we have Jing Yuan. Sparkle being an amazing harmony character that's going to work very well with SP wasters. So someone like Celis, someone like Don Hung, someone like QQ. These characters are going to by far love this character. Someone like Jing Yuan, I know a lot of people are not keen on Jing Yuan, but his light cone is going to be here as well, which is a very great Erudition light cone, which we need to talk about in another video as well. There's so much happening in 2.0, it's insane. But Black Swan for sure is a character that's just in a spot where there's so many different banners that you could have to consider to get, because you have Black Swan, you have Kafka's banner, which if you don't have Kafka already, you got to think about, I need Kafka to make a better dot team, to get that damage out, to get the damage out faster. Kafka needs to be part of that team. So do I have to summon on her? And then we also have someone like Black Swan. Of course, you're going to be summoning for her because you're watching this video. We have someone like Don Hung. His standalone as a DPS, you basically build the team around him really quickly. He doesn't need another character, but he is very SP intensive. You have to know how to work your way around that team and build your team to the point where Don Hung can make sure he can get his 3-point skill up every time. And then you have the harmony character, which is Sparkle, which I didn't even talk about them yet. I didn't even talk about them yet. And then you got Sparkle being harmony, someone good for mono quantum, someone good for SP wasters. And then we also have the, of course, Jing Yuan rerun as well, for those that are excited for his return as well, which I don't know a lot of people that are excited at the current moment for him, but if you are, his rerun is coming. Regular DPS, I think right now wouldn't be the best time to summon for him, in all honesty. I think his time has come to pass if you don't already have him or not, because we are going to be getting, of course, which I didn't get the chance to talk about already, which is Archeon or Acheron. I don't know how you say acheron. This character is also coming, which is going to be Lightning Nihility, so she probably will be taking Jing Yuan's spot, possibly with her overlapping with Kafka. That's a very big deal, and I'm 100% sure they're not going to basically shrug off Kafka with her role. They're just probably going to make Acheron something different in terms of Nihility, the same way Topaz, Ho, and also Fushwin work with their path, how they're different. I think that's going to be the same case for Acheron. which maybe she might be a main DPS for Nihility. And then we got Aventurine as well, being a preservation unit, so a sustainer coming out with all of these DPSs and all of these supports. This sustainer is going to be a big deal as well. And then we're not even thinking about what is happening in 2.2 or something like that, because now we're guaranteed a Luocha rerun next, because he's the last character out of the list of characters besides Dan Heng that they skipped over. Every character is covered from early game besides Luocha, so we're basically guaranteed Luocha in the next 2.2, which is going to take a very long time. So Luocha rerun very far into the future. Aventurine being the the sustainer for all of these patches. We have Acheron, who's most likely going to be a main DPS for Nihility. We have Sparkle being Harmony, a really good support that could be used on a lot of different teams, but mostly the SP wasters for those that really like those characters like Sele, Dan Heng, and all of them. Black Swan, of course, is right there. And then right now we also have the Kafka banner, which is very hard for a lot of free-to-play players. This is a lot, and I mean a lot. And I'm very sorry for all of those who have to worry about all these banners, all the cool characters that are coming out, especially the reruns that a lot of people have been waiting for, all coming at the same exact time. It's a lot. I'm sorry, but the way you got to look at it is, if you're building one team, you need to stick with that one team, and you need to build towards that one team. If you're gonna get Black Swan, you got to get Kafka, and you're gonna have to, if you don't grind enough, you're gonna have to sacrifice those characters that you're not gonna be able to get. So building out that one team is very important, so that way you're not mismanaging your jades. You're not building a team that's gonna be incomplete and another team that's incomplete, and then now you can't use them both. You have to have a mindset of being able to get one dot character. Now, how do I build out that dot team? Gotta get Kafka, gotta get Black Swan. I have the 4-stars that come from the banner, which are Jing Yuan and Gwen, which I can use on the dot team as well. So that's a very important thing to look at. Black Swan 100% is a really good pull for a lot of people that are really enjoying the dots playstyle, and this is the character you for sure want if you like dots. When it comes to every other aspect, right now is the biggest wild card. It really is. There's a lot of different characters in the game right now that with their rerun they still have value. Someone like Luocha, we have Jing Liu that's going to end up coming eventually, we have Topaz is going to end up coming eventually. Wow, there's just a lot. There is a crap ton. So other than that, that's going to be it for this video. Let me know what y'all think about all the stuff that's surrounding Black Swan, because wow, she's in a very big spot, a very competitive spot for where she is right now. But other than that, thank you guys for watching. See you on the next one, and peace.